Well, hello, my dark minions, and welcome to the WTF News. When is what the beep, and you've already seen the title of this video. And yes, you wouldn't expect WTF News to be talking about this. Heck, I am talking about anything about this. But there's been so much information that has been coming out that I just needed to make a video of this talking about Cyberpunk 27, GOG, and CD Projekt Red, or I think that's the name, and seeing how much they have effed up for the past since the release of the game to now and possibly beyond, because more like there's probably more information that I don't even know. It's probably come out by now. And I have to say this, that how CD Projekt has fallen. I mean, these guys, this company was the pinnacle. We have been looking at this looking at them like they're the chosen ones. They're the ones who basically were supposed to be leading and showing other developers and greedy companies that this is the way you're supposed to make games. But in the end, that wasn't it. In reality, they weren't the company we thought they were. And just to let you know, there's been so many sources, so many people making videos on this topic, that you just need to type it in and about whatever about the game, and you're going to be coming up with people talking about CD Projekt, GOG, and 2077. So I'm not going to be putting up any links because you can just easily find them anywhere right now. And like I said, it has been hectic as heck. CD Projekt Red had no idea what to do. 2077 came out buggy beyond belief to the point of game breaking. Thankfully the patch came out, but it doesn't even matter because it's still beyond belief broken. Heck, there's people exploding the game beyond belief. Getting resources from common items, getting rare items from common items, making items, common items with common items, and getting rare resources from the common items you make out of it. There's like so much. Cars flying through the air, graphics not loading in, AI, the police not making any sense. It is hectic in that game that people have started getting refunds, which hilariously nobody was able to because everyone assumed that they would be getting a refund, which I will get into later. And like, Templeton, not now. I'm talking about 77 right now. No time! Back! Now! Seriously! Sorry about that. And Tablet-chan, I'm sorry about yelling at you, but I'm upset about this. I mean, seriously, this game was supposed to be the pinnacle. Heck, it was supposed to prove greedy companies that this is how you make a game. Heck, not only that, they kept saying that making the game and getting it out when it's ready, that was the phrasing, that was the motto. In the end, they betrayed that motto and decided to release a game that was boring. I mean, not boring, but as unplayable as possible. Yeah, I swear to you, if you play right now, you probably go not that far from the tutorial area, or if you start the game, you probably see something happening. Probably see a glitch like happening. Throwing out, that might be an officer right there popping out of nowhere, because that's how much the glitches are in this game. You don't know what glitches are. Heck, it's so bad, it's even worse than every other game that came out from any other company. Heck, Witcher wasn't even this bad. At least that one was able to be playable, and it was still good. You were able to forgive it because it was good. But with Cyberpunk, you can't. It came out in a disgraceful site, a disgraceful way. You can't even play the game. Sometimes you fire a gun and it doesn't even shoot. There's even sometimes where you don't even have a gun and you can still not shoot. There's frozen bullets. There's freaking weapons. There's even hands that go up in your face. Cars go through the floor, through the ground. Heck, there was even one where a car was looked like it was walking under the ground, like one of those cartoon cars, walking around. I mean, it was hectic. Just looking at the videos is insanity. There's even gameplay things in the game that weren't even tested that can make you overpowered beyond belief, and you can one-shot anybody in the game, and there is still more yet to be found. I bet you by the time they patch this, people will already have, or still wouldn't have been able to find all the exploits in the game. I mean, there is so many exploits, so many glitches, so many game-breaking glitches in this game that it's it's insurmountable. How did this get released like this? This is from a company that we all respected and we all looked up to prove to other companies that this is how you should make a game. But instead, this came out in a disgraceful way, and it proved us wrong that we thought that CD Projekt Red were actually the company, and GOG as well, that they were, I don't know, that they were the companies that we thought. Instead, they're just like any other company. Heck, in fact, they're just as greedy as everyone else. As all the other companies feature, which Angry Joe said that they were just pretending this entire time. Heck, they said all this goodwill, like you said before, all this goodwill that they built up was just a cover-up. They were wearing a freaking mask just so they could easily persuade us and to say that this game is perfect and everything. But now they can't use that anymore. Their mask has been taken off, and now we know what this CD Projekt Red is. They are just a greedy company, just like any other company. They're just like EA, Activision, Blizzard, any other company that's in it for the money. And even Angry Joe made a joke about how, oh hey, CD Projekt, join us. Come on, join us. Sit next to us. Sit us next to with the rest of us. Stop pretend. Now you can stop pretending now. Yeah, and remember back in the day when they were saying to the investors, like, oh yeah, they were talking like in the company terms to investors to let you know this is how you play the game. I guess now we know how they were able to talk that way, because they were like that already. They were still disguised. They weren't pretending to the investors. They were already like that. In fact, like I said, The Witcher 3 was the greatest game that came out, and that came out like a little bit glitchy, but at least they fixed it. Heck, they should have learned from their first mistake, but instead they didn't. They didn't learn. Instead, they repeated the past, and now it's even worse. I mean, I wanted to play this game for myself, like in a later time, like on the next gen, but now I don't even want to get it anymore because I don't want to support CD Projekt anymore on the count of this, and that's just saddens me because I wanted this game to be great. Heck, I thought this was going to be the game that would, like I said, be the pinnacle and to prove everyone wrong. Heck, this CD Projekt Red was supposed to make a game that was supposed to prove to every other company that this is how you're supposed to make a game. Not by using live services, not by using greedy tactics, not by using any tactics to get as much money, but in fact, no. Instead, we find out then CD Projekt Red was really in it for the money. And they were so desperate to get money now, because of how much money they've lost, that they had no choice but to release it. Heck, it goes even deeper. I found out from Young Ye, like I said, type in anything about CD Projekt and Cyber Teddy, and you'll be able to find this information. And that he basically says that they actually, that this game wasn't even ready. At the beginning of 2020, in January, the heads, the suits, which I have to say, do not blame the developers. Even they are rising up against the corporate suits right now because of how this game was coming out. And they said that the game was ready, which wasn't. It was actually a lie. In fact, the game was far from ready. And they lied to investors and lied to everybody. Heck, it got to the point of lying that even Sony found, when they saw how this game is, that they pulled it off on their store. There's even evidence that they actually had an agreement with Sony to get the game out, which is special treatment, which, of course, that just proves even more from Sony. But even still, you have to realize how strict their refund policy is, which means CD Projekt really hit the pooch right now. I don't even know. Do you know I'm ignoring that? It's pure idiocy. Now, of course, how Angry Joe says here, that right now it's all hands on deck. They're going to be using basically their time to try to make this game working so that they can get the game out in a working fashion. And it's just complete lunacy. So anyone who's been waiting for patches, well, unfortunately, you might not get them until January. And even then, they might not get it out. What's even more worse about this is that they might even decide to become one of the a company that may just decide to make their employees do go wait until Christmas, which I hope they don't, because if they do, that's just gonna prove us people who are now realizing what CD Projekt is to basically that they're just in it for the money. I mean, look at this game. You can't play this game at all. Not only that, it just saddens me because I saw CD Projekt as basic as everyone else was. The good guys, the ones who are for the players, for the gamers, and to help us out against the corporate, and not to be again that was against corporate greed. But in the end, it didn't matter. They were just lying. And now I bet you there's gonna be people coming up with theories that how far does this rabbit hole went. Did their greed was at the beginning? Were they always like this? Did it begin after the second game Witcher? Did it begin like before they even started the company? It's gonna be hectic, and I am saddened by the fact that this is gonna be how it is. And I wanted to get, and like I said, the WTF News is about getting the news out, and I just want to be helping to spread that further. Even though there is so much news about it, I just couldn't pass this up to help spread the word even further, because CD Projekt needs to realize what happens when you lie to the players and you lie to anyone else. Heck, Sony, like I said, took the game off. And now they are going to be losing so much money now, CD Projekt, that it's going to be hectic. I mean, CD Projekt deserves what they get right now because of what they have done. And I'm gonna hear people saying, "Oh no, they don't deserve it. No, they don't deserve it. They don't. Oh no, don't you dare tell me they don't deserve it, considering how what's happened." And look, I like how the game is. There's people enjoying the game, and I don't fault them with that. But this is pure me going at it. It's telling CD Projekt and letting out my venting, my anger, how much this is. I haven't played the game. I just watch videos, and how much the videos have gone. Yeah, glitches galore, graphics going out of control, and sometimes people phase into the wall. And plus, for some reason, there's an epidemic of cars following the player and crashing into him. I don't know what's happening. Tell me if you've experienced this, or if it's not even happening anymore. But either way, there's even features that were supposed to be in the game that are not in the game anymore. You can say goodbye to them, because now it's going to be all hands on deck to make sure this game is playable on the PS4 store, and the PSN store. Doesn't matter anymore. It's beyond belief. Hectic. Not only that, but we have GOG, which is another company of CD Projekt, who basically have taken off a game called Devotion, which I have seen Jacksepticeye, Dashi, and I think more other YouTubers managed to play, like in 2019. Basically able to play this, and the fact of the matter is, GOG has taken it off their store because they said that it was because of gamers, quote unquote, that said that, basically blaming us, saying that we were the ones that wanted this game off. Now, heck no! If a game is out there, we want to play it for ourselves. But I want to tell you why this is happening, because this released in China. This had something had like a picture in the background, like you wouldn't even notice. It was like in chat and like another language. And guess what it was? It basically about an accidental asset about Winnie the Pooh and the president of China, or whatever person is ruling China. And of course, China is trying to protect the government, the Chinese party, whatever you want to call it. I don't even know. Basically, so Joe says Chinese party, so I'm going to be using Chinese party. Wanted to protect their president, of whoever leads it, whatever they want to call it. And say that, oh yeah, and they decided to take it down. And basically, you had no choice but to take it down because, of course, obviously, they want to be doing business in China, which makes it more prevalent to realize that, yes, CD Projekt is in it for the money. They don't care about us. They took the game off because they didn't want to lose the money in China, which is the biggest amount of money that you can get in market in the world, which is unfortunate at this point. So, GOG, CD Projekt Red, you have literally broken the trust. I believed in you and hoped that you would make games, but for the gamers. But instead, you just proved to us that we shouldn't believe in a company like whoever does any goodwill. Because for all we know, they could be wearing a mask, and just pretending to be for the gamers, but in the end, they were just using it just so they just so they can pretend and get as much money out of us before they lose that facade. I mean, it is insanity. Devotion by Fire Candle, I forgot what the name was, but Candlefire Games, I forgot, but that game is no longer available. You can't even find it on any other platform anymore. Hopefully they do find a platform they can play the game and put the game, because a lot of people deserve to play it. I've seen some gamers play it. I think it's the same game I've seen. I don't know. Let me know down in the comments. Let me know if you've seen other YouTubers manage to get it, because it was not on Steam and you have to get it on an Epic game store now. Hopefully they do find a platform. But the fact of the matter, GOG, like Angry Joe said, you are not in China. You are not in that territory. I don't remember you being in there. But of course, you didn't want to lose all that much money. So you wanted to basically force another company to fall down. Even though they apologized so many times so that they can get their game back. But no, you decided to like take them down, and even worse, try to destroy them even further, so that way you could be in the good graces of the Chinese party, so that way you can get your money back, which just proves to me even more, and to everyone else, that you don't care who you have to step in order to get as much money as possible. You are literally letting yourself being pushed around by another party that's not even from the country. Heck, which is worrisome for me, that now I'm worried that if I walk down the street, I can't buy a certain item in a store because that store is probably available, because that store is in China, and now we lose that item as well. Heck, China has basically got a stranglehold on everything, that now you can't even do anything without pissing them off and then losing what you have. Freaking in the States here, we have freedom of speech. At this point, I'm questioning that. Heck, welcome to the... I don't want to get political here. Do you know what? I don't want to get political. But at this point, it's getting very hard not to get political on the fact that another country is able to control this much power in another country. Sorry. I just try not to be political, but at this point, it's hard. I don't want to say it, but if this keeps up, I'm very afraid of the future. Because now we have companies that are in gaming and movies bending over backwards for China. And I'm worried, there's not just China. I mean, not just other companies. There's other companies outside these fields that are basically doing whatever it takes to make sure they stay in China. It's just stupid. And I'm sick and tired of seeing this. We had so much happening with Activision, what they did, and we forgot that. But now we have this happening with CD Projekt and GOG, and now that is getting idiotic. Basically, now it's getting to the point. It used to be just control it in China. Look, if you want to change a game for another country, just for that country, okay, so be it. But the moment you start changing something, not just China, but then you decide to change it for everywhere where it's available, that is where I have a problem. Leave it within the borders of China. Any item that's available there, you change it within there. Within those borders. The moment it comes out of that, the moment you start changing those items, and when I mean items, I mean anything that involves selling things to another country, basically from basketballs to freaking shoes or whatever, item doesn't matter, including gaming. The moment you start changing things outside of China, that is where I will start talking about it, and I'm not about to let it go by. Alright? And I bet you a lot of people agree with me. They do not want to have another country telling another country what to do that has no involvement in other countries' properties. Right? Gaming. Some more games like Activision, EA, and freaking AI are in our country. The moment they start capitulating to China and making and censoring stuff in our country for another country, so that we all have the same product, instead of censoring just China stuff, that is where I'm gonna, like I said many times, I know I'm being redundant, that's where I'm gonna step in. That's why I'm gonna try to get as many people to listen. The moment anything that's from another country decides to basically censor their stuff that is not within China and decide to censor it for everywhere that item is available, that is where I will draw the line. I know I'm repeating myself, but I want this to stick in your heads. The moment something changes outside of the country, it's alright if it remains in the... I'm trying to not repeat myself, but I'm stuttering, but I'm so upset right now. The moment that something in China is in there, change it within China. I don't care. I don't care what happens. You can censor it because that's their culture. They want to deal with it, so be it. Let it stay in there. But if it spills out, for example, if a video game all of a sudden, or in other words, a shoe or item, something, anything, decides to change it for the rest of the world because China doesn't like it, that is where I will have a problem. Okay? No. China gets to keep whatever stuff they want and let it be censored there. Everywhere around the world will have the exact same, will have everything non-censored. Okay? I'm sorry that I had to deal with it, but it has to be said. CD Projekt has become the company. They're just another company that just want to make money. GOG is another company that wants to just do whatever they want. Like I said, and I say CD Projekt and GOG, both same person. Cyberpunk should not have came out that way. And now, I swear to you, and now also, they're now getting lawsuits from investors. Potential lawsuits. I'm not saying that it is. But for all we know, by the time this video comes out, there probably is lawsuits happening right now. I only got this information today, but there may be lawsuits happening in the future. Who knows? Because, of course, they have lied to basically the investors, saying the game was ready and it was all good. Heck, like I said, CD Projekt lied and said that the game was ready for the last gen and it was ready for the current gen, which the current gen you can run it a little bit, but it's still a pain in the ass. But in the last gen, you can barely run that. They lied to investors, they lied to Sony, and now potential losses may be happening in the future. CD Projekt, whatever happens, if this does happen, I cannot blame the investors for going after you. I don't even know. For what you have done, for what you guys have done, lying, and also just to let you know that even developers who were working under the leadership of CD Projekt, they even spoke out. They've had enough of what was happening. They've had enough. Which is why I say don't blame don't blame the developers. Blame the suits who are leading them. Because the developers have no choice but to listen to them. And now, yeah. Thankfully, the developers are going after them. And it's just, I'm glad that developers are standing up for themselves in this company. Because CD Projekt deserves all the basic hate they get. It's not all of it's deserved, but unfortunately, the way they did it, I don't blame anyone from going after basically CD Projekt at this point. They deserve it. They deserve what they get, and unfortunately, like I said, I don't know if I want to buy any of their games anymore because I don't want to support a company that's willing to go this far. Blame gamers, and then lie to everybody saying that the game was alright. The game was far from perfect. Motto of saying, we'll get it out when it's ready. Yeah, right. But whatever. Let me know down in the comments if I left out anything. Let me know what you think of the situation. Let me know if there's any new information that came out. And I might do another video. Maybe not, because there's so much information coming out every day about this. And it's just getting too hectic for me. And let me know what you feel about this. Are you one of the people who played the game and managed to play it? Are you agreeing with me? Do you think that the last shoe passed by? Do you think it should be an overreaction? Do you think that they deserve the hate or not? Or do you think that... And what do you think about the current thing about China having control of basically almost everything? Let me know. And tell me whether or not, when the time comes when it gets way too out of control, will you be fighting to make sure that you still have your own freedom against China? Because at this point, I'm getting scared. I have nothing else. Like, to spread the word, share to help me spread the word, and comment. Yeah, I'm pissed right now, so you're not gonna see an intro. When I'm pissed, yeah, you're just getting this it. There is no outro here. Alright, that's about it. I got nothing else left to say. Let me know down in the comments as well. Alright, now from right now, forgot, next video, or let me know down in the comments. For right now, my dark me is dismissed.